Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to, and feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin sitting. If you have something you want to sit up on, you can grab it, a blanket or cushion. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position and either close your eyes or take a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. And begin to slow down your breath. And you can give yourself permission to set aside all the mental projects. Any plans, problems, ruminations. And if you find yourself drawn back into that kind of mental activity, the moment you notice, you can just drop it right in the middle of the thought. Coming back into your body, coming back to your breath, and just feeling what's right here, right now. That's enough. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you throughout your practice. Let's begin by taking the right arm up. We'll bend it straight back on itself. Grab your elbow. Take it back as far as you can, exploring your range of motion. And then release. Right arm up, open it out, take it across and then hook with the other arm, hugging it in nice and close. And as you do this, draw back through your right shoulder so you're still square across your chest, still sitting nice and tall. Release, arm out. Rotate your thumb to point down, wrap it around behind your back, so back of your hand is at your waist. Interlace fingers at the waist, pulling your knuckles around towards the front, elbows go towards one another, and then circle your right shoulder. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back, open up the chest. You might stay upright or fold forward, and folding can be just whatever amount you're able. You don't need to fold more than you can fold. Release, come up. Hands to knees, round back, lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. Roll your way back up. And let's recross the leg so the other leg is in front or on top. Left arm up this time, bend it straight back on itself, grab your elbow, take it back, drop the ribs, draw the belly in. Release, left arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in. What are you feeling here? Keep diving back into the sensation of this moment, some of which may be pleasant, some of it may be uncomfortable. Release, arm out, thumb points down, wrap it around. This time when you go to interlace fingers, try the other thumb on top. Knuckles towards the front, elbows towards one another. And then circle your left shoulder. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back, open up the chest. And then fold. Maybe just dropping your head, maybe coming all the way towards the floor. Release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Roll your way back up. Let's bring feet to the floor. Hip width apart and parallel. Try and have your toes pointing straight ahead. And then take a little rock front to back. So you're rocking your weight into your toes, stretching them, just going to your edge, feeling what's possible, and then back towards the heels. Heels may not come to the floor, that's okay. We're just stretching out calves, ankles, Achilles tendon. And go as slow as you need to, so you're really exploring the limits without going beyond them. And then drop the heels. Lift your hips and come back to hang in ragdoll. Take any arm position, any movement here. What helps you get in your body? And then plant your hands near the front of your mat and step back. Come into a high push-up position. Feel the strength of your core supporting you. Whole body lifting up away from the floor evenly. So a straight line from your head to your heels, evenly lifting up. Shift forward to lower down, low push-up, elbows hugging the sides. And then come into your back bend, and this could be as low or high as feels right for you. Maybe a little baby cobra. Maybe coming up higher. Wherever you are, shoulders back and down, so the neck is nice and long. And then back to down dog when you're ready. And you get to choose how you transition from pose to pose. Maybe you've been taught one way to do it. That's probably a good way, or might be a good way. And then there's lots of other ways. So feel free to experiment and explore. Of course, using all that you know already, but continuing to be curious. We do these same poses over and over and over. And so one of the challenges can be, how do I stay curious in something I've done so many times? Can I really tune into the subtle newness of right now? Let's drop the knees and sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor, letting go. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then back to center. Let's lift up through table. Come back through down dog. Bend your knees, look forward. You can hop or step your feet back to the front of the mat. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold, let your head release fully. Inhale, up to standing, sweep the arms high. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths in some neutral shape so you can practice coming back to ease, back to presence, and choose a shape where that's possible, easy for you. Down dog may be that shape, or perhaps coming back to child's pose or sitting or on your forearms or knees. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. This time, from down dog, let's take the right leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee to your chest and start circling this bent right knee, exploring the full range of motion for your right hip joint. If this would work better for you from hands and knees, feel free to drop your left knee to the floor. You could also do this from your forearms. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. Circle your ankle a few times, big circles, both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Now right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. Low lunge. Let's drop the back knee. If you want to pad your knee, you could roll up the side of your mat, or if you have a blanket or cushion you want to put under it, go ahead and do a little padding. Check the distance between your legs so that your right knee is more or less over the ankle. If your knee is way forward of the ankle, then get a little more distance between your legs. If it's difficult to reach the floor, you may want to grab a couple blocks. Look for an opening at the front of the left hip. You can keep your hands on the blocks or floor, or you might explore bringing the upper body a little higher up, hands to the front leg or the hips, or even arms up. One more breath here. Release. Hands to the blocks or floor. Let's take the hips back for a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward so that when you flex the foot, your hips stay right above the back knee, at least to begin with. Hands right under shoulders, as high as you need them. Come right up onto the highest setting. Let's go towards hip square. Draw that right hip back. Towards a flat back, lengthening head and sit bones away from one another. Towards folding, but listen to your body. Don't fold any more than feels right for you. Let your hamstring tell you when. And if any of you want to go towards splits, Hanumanasana, you might slide the right heel forward. And it's not better to get somewhere else. Like you might see me doing this. I'm hypermobile, by the way. It's not better. There are directions we're each going in order for us to meet our edges. And for me, that's about what's possible, full self-expression. If I only stay in what's comfortable, that's a certain amount of expression. Then I want to see, what can I do with this little body-mind being I'm in? And the other purpose is to go to your edge, which may be like outside your comfort zone, and practice presence and ease there. And for some of us, we need to go a little further to find that edge. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. To release, let's bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the right foot, and then shift your weight forward. Let's come into lizard pose. So you might come onto blocks or elbows or the floor. You might shift your weight more to the left or right, kind of exploring what is this like. If you want to add a quad stretch, you can bend the back leg, draw it in. Let's release and find your way back to down dog. So you might take a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog. You might move in some other way, kind of noticing the difference on the two sides. What sensation is present here now? From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling this bent left knee. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times, pulling the hips up and back. Take your leg a little higher, and then bring your left knee towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Take it across. Send it up and back. And right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, low lunge. If your foot doesn't make it far enough forward, you could pick it up and bring it there, or shimmy the back knee further back once you get your foot there, or inch the front foot forward. Feel free to add padding for your back knee, support for your hands, and then let yourself acclimate. Coming into the outer shape is like the tip of the iceberg. It's the very beginning. And then what are you feeling here now? At any point, if you want to explore a slightly different position, you might bring your upper body up or change your arm position. You're welcome to. Last breath here. Release. Hands to the floor or to your blocks. Hamstring stretch. Take the hips back, inch the front foot forward, flex the toes back. So going in the directions you know to go in, to the best of your understanding, until you meet your edge. And we want to be really sensitive about where that is. So we're not holding back, but not blasting beyond it. Going right up to it, and it changes. For me, it changes moment by moment. So I'm doing a continual backing out slightly, moving forward slightly, playing the edge. If you did slide further forward on the other side, you might try that again. How much presence, awareness, sensitivity can you bring when you're at your edge? If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Let's bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the left foot. Shift your weight forward. Lizard pose. You don't have to move around, but can you stay curious? How do you stay curious? If you did add a quad stretch on the other side, you might add that again. If you feel overwhelmed, if you notice you're checked out, see if you can start by just feeling that you are breathing now. One more breath here. Release. Make your way back to a good rest. Any movement, any neutral shape. Let's take 5 deep breaths. Last breath here. Let's come onto the knees and we'll come up to a tall kneeling position, getting set up for camel. You may want to pad your knees. If you don't have a blanket or cushion, you could roll up the front of your mat a little. We'll try and find neutral pelvis. So notice if your hips are tipping back. If so, kind of drop through the tailbone, find where it's neutral, and see if you can keep it there throughout the back bends. We'll bring hands to the top of the buttocks. Roll your shoulders back, roll your elbows back. Lift the chest. You're welcome to stay right here or reach your hands back for the heels. If the heels are a little too far, tucking your toes will give you another couple of inches. If it's still too far, feel free to keep hands on buttocks, or you might try blocks. You're welcome to look forward the whole time, or look up, or drop your head back. Imagine you have 2 big hands at your back, spreading the upper back and lower back away from one another. And then release. Come up. And let's come to child's pose, spreading the lower back. And then coming into a seated forward fold. You can come all the way to sitting. If you want to put a little something under the hips, you're welcome to sit up on something to get the pelvis upright. You can use your hands on the floor or on the feet or on something like a strap around the feet, wherever you're going to get the best support for lengthening as you fold. As you fold, can your shoulders be away from the ears? Can your neck be relaxed? Your jaw be relaxed? And a wonderful thing to become aware of in your practice as you are going towards your limits, and then it is however it is. So for some bodies, folding forward is going to look more like being upright. And there's nothing wrong there. There's no problem. So as you go towards your limits and you're feeling how it is for you, notice if your mind wants to say something like it shouldn't be this way, or there's some sort of problem. And for me, I just say the opposite. This is okay. This is how it is. And I notice when I disagree with reality, I suffer. And that doesn't mean that you stop going towards what you want. You can keep working on, everything that you care about, that you want, going towards things you desire. And wouldn't it be lovely if every moment along that path there was ease, there was acceptance, there was allowing it to be exactly the way it is. So for me, my practice is moment by moment, as often as I can think about it, feeling how it is and surrendering, letting it be just like this. Let's release. Bring the soles of the feet together. And grab your toes, your ankles with that grip, lengthen and fold. So you're just going towards. There's nowhere to get except where you are. Let's bring the upper body back up. Keep your right leg where it is. Open the left leg out to the side. Gait pose. Right arm up and over. Big side bend. You can lean onto your left hand or elbow on the inside or outside of that straight leg. Going towards a long torso on all the sides. You're not collapsing on the bottom side, but trying to lengthen that out as well. And then let your head fall towards the floor. Take the top arm out and down until your shoulder pulls down, stretching right side of the neck, head falling one way, shoulder pulling the other way. And then press into the bottom hand to come up. Use that hand to help lift your head. Switch the legs. Left arm up and over. Big yawning reach towards full expression, towards flexibility, towards health and well-being, and allowing for what's here to be here. That perhaps as you go towards all those things, this is exactly where you should be. I mean, it's where you are. Let your head fall towards the floor. Take the top arm out and down until your shoulder pulls down, stretching left side of the neck. Press into the bottom hand to come up. Use that hand to help lift your head. Open both legs wide. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. So feet and knees point straight up. You're welcome to sit up on something. Hands can be on the floor behind you. Look for a stretch on the inner legs. If you don't feel it yet, lean forward until you find it. If you're already feeling it, it's big, stay where you are. And you can play that edge, going towards length, towards folding. If it's too much, back out a little. And here is the relatively easy playground to do this work. Out there in your life, you might care a lot more about the results. So I know for me, like parenting, for instance, I want harmony, I want ease, I want everybody to be happy and healthy all the time. And how that turns up day by day in my house is not always harmonious. It's not always happy. And so my work is to keep orienting towards what I care about, taking action towards what I care about, and in those moments where it's not exactly my first choice, can I be at ease anyhow? Can I expand to include that? If you did fold, make your way back up, lean back, draw the legs in, shake it out. And let's come back onto our backs. Bring your knees in. And take a little circle or rock, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor, and just checking in with yourself. I'm going to wind down this practice. If you want to keep practicing, you're always welcome to do that. If you'd like to wind things down with me, what do you want to do? You can just ask yourself. You might have some pose or body part that is calling out to you. You might find yourself just moving into something. You can choose carefully or randomly, it's okay. Whatever you're doing, just feeling that. Take the time you need. Each time you finish, you can ask again, what's needed now? When nothing else is needed, you can start getting comfortable in your final resting pose, Shavasana. Feel free to adjust clothing or grab props or do whatever you need to do to be as comfortable as you can. Eventually settling into stillness. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently waking your body up again. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles. Eventually stretching out through your arms and legs in a nice full body yawn. When you're ready, bring your knees in and roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. And just take a moment to silently thank yourself for your practice. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today, for getting on your mat, for doing whatever you needed to do to get here. Well done.